from a reader, JF Jack Linen, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He would like to know, what will you do about the many residential junkyards around town? So far, according to the books, ordinance are not being enforced, according to me. Brooke, we'll start with you. Yep.
Excellent. Not everybody deserves to have a home. Owning a home is a right, but also a financial investment. There's so much going on in our community, and a lot of this came when the city came to the rental. The renting codes started to get too strong, and it drove a lot of people out of the rental business. And what they started doing is contract to buy. And a lot of people don't even know or have the financial capability to maintain their homes, but they are the owners over at the courthouse because there's a contract to buy. I think we worked on that in Main Street, at the Chamber, downtown. We had some buildings, 3 buildings downtown that were on contract to buy. We went to the city and said, please, do deal with this. Ron Dunn did a fine job. Doug Tarr sent letters, and all but of the 3 properties that we asked to get fixed, only 1 of them did not respond. And that's sad. But, you know, you do what you have to do. I think the more people that step up and deal with the people who can't afford to own their house and maintain their house, that's an issue in itself. I want to make sure that our city attorney is all over this. There are people that would love to buy those properties, tear them down, but they need to be put up for sale. If they can't maintain them, they need to dispose of them.
Thank you. Diane?
Yeah, this is an issue we have dealt with the entire 8 years I was mayor previously. And we do have people in line to take care of this. We have a code enforcement officer, our police chief, and we expect to get some information from citizens too. If you drive around town and you see a property that you think is very unsightly, be sure and let us know, because we can't get around and see every one of them. We've got a couple of years to make up for now, because the last couple of years hasn't been real active in nuisance abatements. And so that's one thing that we were very proactive with, was a nuisance abatement. Yes, people own their own homes. They may not have the money to necessarily put new windows in, new doors on, and that sort of thing, but they can pick it up, they can close their doors, and they can make it look very presentable.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm the guy that asked the question.
You're Jack, okay. If you'd like to go ahead.
You missed the point altogether.
Good.
We have 2 cities here. We have north of 12th Avenue, which we could really be proud of. We have south of 12th Avenue, that we have residential junkyards. I'm not talking about houses falling down. I'm talking about people that store junk on their property.
Correct.
I've got one behind me. I complained to Councilman, I forgot his name. Anyhow, he came and did a job, got it cleared up. Now it's all coming back. We're not enforcing the ordinances. You talk about code officers. They don't see anything. And I don't think it's a job for the police department. I don't blame them for not wanting to do it. The police officer's job is crime and what have we, not going around enforcing codes on residential property. I don't blame them. I'm an ex-police officer. I wouldn't want to do it either. I'm talking about people who store junk cars, junk on their properties. They're residential junkyards is what they are. Just like a residential business, these people have residential junkyards. The one behind me is building up again. We got rid of the junk car and a few other junk things. Now we got a junk truck. We got a humongous big covered trailer. We got a boat on a trailer. We got piles of junk here and there. The code is, if you're going to park something on your property, you need to have a pad of some sort. Gravel, asphalt, concrete if you want to. But if you're going to store cars, trailers, campers, whatever you have to have a pad of some sort. There's no pads. Nobody enforces the law we have. And I think it is too late for south of 12th Avenue, because it's been let go for so damn long. Everybody's going to laugh at you. They're not going to do a damn thing unless you enforce the law. I also happen to be an ex-councilman on the Ankeny City Council. How we did it was enforce the law. That's not being done here.
Why don't we give him,
Ignored.
Mr. Lyman,
Enforce the law for
we'll give him each 30 seconds to respond to your questions. Is that fine? Is that cool? So-
Yeah.
Go ahead, Diane, we'll give you an opportunity to respond there to what he said.
Who enforced the law for you as being the council member? That's why we have our code enforcement officer in our police department to enforce that, for us. Who did that for you?
We had a code enforcement officer.
Right.
We had a department who
And
enforced the law.
that's also what
Not the
we,
police department.
and that's also what we have. And many times we go to these residences and they get served the notice of a nuisance and they'll get it cleaned up and whatever. And you can go back in 2 weeks or a month and it's all started all over again. So we need to hear from citizens like you that are living with this and don't like it. I wouldn't like it either. I can sympathize with you. I absolutely would not like it.
I mean, we try to maintain our property and look
Right.
decent.
And what does
And then you
that,
got people around you that have a junkyard.
what does that do to your property? That's what we're trying to prevent, exactly.
Brooke, why don't we let Brooke give an answer here for a minute?
It's a given. You have to enforce the laws. They're on the books, enforce them. Write the tickets, do what you have to do. You've already turned it in, you have to be diligent. You cannot let it go. There's a book called The Tipping Point. That's how they dealt with downtown Manhattan. Is anytime there was graffiti put up, they cleaned it up right then. They didn't wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Everybody cleans up their neighborhood and is diligent about turning in and whistleblowing to the code enforcement officer, who then tickets and then levies against puts fines against that property. That's the only way to do it. I don't know what the answer is other than enforcing the laws that we have. So I agree completely.
Correct, but I've tried to complain, and I've done it several times, and it
Don't give up.
all over again.
Don't give
So
up.
I put up a privacy fence, and they even wanted me arrested for criminal trespass.
Thank you, sir.